All right, Devin. You know what we got to talk about.
I already got it pulled up.
So
I mean, I'm ashamed that he wears our flag.
that is crazy. I'm not gonna
I'm
lie.
ashamed that he did this and wore our flag.
That is crazy to say.
I don't
But
care.
no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. But that is that was okay. So
Sorry.
all right. Noah Lyles.
I just thought I saw him wearing on the flag, and I just thought about that. I was
So Noah Lyles, he finishes third. He finishes third in the 200-meter dash.
yeah.
And I mean, how do you want to break this down? Because we have been going in on bro for like weeks now.
Yeah.
We've
So
almost ran out of things to say because it's like, okay, he wins gold by a thousandth or a thousandth of a second.
all right. Well, I will say this: he basically ties the second guy, and this is pre-COVID diagnosis. So you were just as good as the other guy. The other guy was just as good as you. It was literally millimeters. Pre-COVID, you're telling me that that's your peak pre-COVID, and then your peak COVID is still third best in the Olympics.
Well,
And I'm wondering why it went wrong, why he didn't. Number one, why he raced and why he couldn't.
I mean, first thing is like, so he had COVID.
Apparently, he had tested positive 2 days prior.
Just him.
Just him. Who gave him COVID?
Nobody else.
So immediately when he tested positive, they quarantined him. You're telling me that no one else that he was around tested anywhere near positive? I haven't heard a word about COVID this entire Olympics.
Okay.
Not once.
Okay.
And then not only did he have COVID, they're saying he had 102 fever.
Okay. So
they're spinning this like he won bronze because of because of adversity. Like he still did this well because of it. It was so adverse.
Devin, we're gonna have to hear the next 4 years. I
can guarantee you he won't be in the next Olympics doing anything remotely close to what he did.
There will be a sentence, if it hasn't already came out yet, I guarantee you there will be a sentence where it's going to be like, I shouldn't even have been in that race.
You raced.
No, I'm telling you, it's going to be
I know.
Like, man, I was so sick, I shouldn't even have been in that race. I'm telling you,
that's basically what it is.
The next 4 years, we're going to have to hear about how Noah Lyles won bronze, even though he was a little sick.
But that's what a lot of people do when it happens a lot when they talk a lot of shit that you're the fastest in the world, and then you get beat by a good bit.
So he gets beat,
and you get beat by your countryman, your teammate.
I'm just saying.
And then you go lay on the ground.
Immediately make it about you.
Immediately go lay on the ground.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: he didn't look sick prior to the race. He didn't look sick days before. He didn't look sick anything. He didn't look sick until he ran for 40 seconds.
Devin, he didn't.
That's when he looked sick.
Devin, he didn't look sick.
Or 20 seconds.
He didn't look sick after the first time they ran the 200.
No.
He looked fine.
He ran the semi. And he won silver.
And he looked fine.
Well, he didn't win silver, but he was second in his semi. And he didn't bitch about being sick.
Man, and he didn't look dehydrated, nothing.
Nope.
But
instead after from 20 seconds prior when he wasn't dehydrated to 20 seconds after, he fell to the ground and needed a water.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but if you're
and then needed to sit in a fucking wheelchair.
So if you're like the best athlete of all time in some people's eyes, because I'm not gonna lie, we've had these track people harassing the podcast. So
sure,
shout out to all of them because your goat got dehydrated and.
Well, I thought he was gonna. I thought when he was in a wheelchair, I thought he'd like cried injury or whatever. This is worse because we can't prove that anything happened.
But he's a top tier athlete.
He's a top tier athlete.
Whether whether you want to put him in the same breath as an NBA player or not, he's a top tier athlete who, if okay, he was hydrated
1,000% he was hydrated.
and he was
He didn't need
fine.
water. Every other athlete out there, every other track athlete can run 20 seconds and not need a water immediately.
Yeah, dude.
Regardless of what ails you.
I mean, how many times have we seen just him just celebrating after running, and it just, or any track star, like, hey, I just ran really fast,
Agreed.
and I'm good because
I'm going to go run around the track more. I'm going to go celebrate.
yeah, I'm gonna go run around and celebrate. But if I lose,
Yeah, I'm
I'm
going to go.
collapsing immediately, and I'm gonna need a wheelchair. And
Did you see him? He grabbed the water and was like,
dude, it was the most.
dude, it was the saddest, fucking stupidest video ever.
It was the most.
But I mean, it makes sense that he would make this about himself. Why would it not? I mean, this is his race. He's the third fastest ever in this race.
But I mean, he shot himself in the foot. Like, I mean,
but I can't think of anyone who would back this type of behavior, and then to back out of the 4x100.
Oh yeah, and because he can't.
Because you were good enough to race the day before, but you're not good enough to race the day after.
Yeah, you're that fucked up.
Also, no one told you to race.
And also,
your teammate beat you.
I think just after everything he said about how great of an athlete he was, and how he's the third fastest person in the world, and nobody's ever, and or alive on this planet ever.
Ever.
Either way, in by the way, one specific measurement.
Yes, one race,
200 meters,
and not the race that we judge the fastest man in. We don't. The fastest man ever was Usain. Well, he has the record for both, and he's still alive.
Either way, he talked all this shit. Like, I'm telling you, like, and I know and at this point, it's just like, it's obvious if we're gonna bring up someone like LeBron every time we talk about Noah Lyles, because that's just that's just an easy athlete. That's obviously a greater athlete than Noah to compare him to.
Yeah.
If LeBron, if it came out after a bad game that he was sick, people would have been shitting on him.
No one would care
for the next month, and I promise you, would have been comparing that to the flu game. Michael Jordan's flu game, which, okay, I'll tell you this right now. Flu game over COVID bronze medal, or what is it?
COVID bronze medal, yeah.
COVID race, like the COVID.
Because,
flu game over COVID 200 meter dash. Because what did Mike? What was? Well, I'm because obviously I'm an NBA casual. I don't know exactly what Mike's stat line was for the flu game.
Oh, it was like 35 and something.
But I'm saying, like, okay, so Michael Jordan either was hungover, had food poisoning, or had the flu, and just fucking goes crazy,
torched the Jazz or
on
whatever.
A basketball court, which, mind you,
38, 7, and 5.
Constant back and forth. Imagine being sick, like,
and playing for 44 straight minutes.
Imagine your sickest moments in life, Devan, where your lungs just cannot even barely take a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
Would you rather sprint 200 meters or play 44 minutes of 5-on-5 full court basketball and drop and by the way, drop 38 points?
I can't run 200 meters in 20 seconds.
Nobody said you had to.
But I can run 200 meters and not be dehydrated. And I can guarantee you that I can run 200 meters if I had 102 fever and then not collapse.
I would not need a wheelchair.
I would not need a wheelchair. I would not need to be wheeled off. Also, show no signs of sickness prior to the race.
Yeah.
Like if I showed up with 102 fever, you'd see it. I'd look like dog shit.
It's just, I don't know. It was.
There's no you can tell when someone has 100. Your body is shutting down when you have 102 fever.
Yeah.
You can't look and act normal.
Yeah, no.
So if you truly had one, you wouldn't be the third fastest man in the Olympics.
And also, why is he in the Olympics if he has COVID.
Why are you racing?
If the
What made you
Olympics
think that you could race this one, but not the one after that?
and why?
Wouldn't you be
Just
better after 2-3 days? You know.
well, I mean, after all that shit he talked, he had to race. He had to race this. He had to run his
Well, he
200.
had to race.
He had to
Well,
run his
and
200.
then now he had an excuse ready.
Yeah. Oh, he had an excuse. So I mean,
Dude, he was.
Devan, it was.
There's no way that he wanted to win this race after he found out if he even had COVID.
Yeah.
COVID's already so fucking dog shit that you're gonna cry COVID 4 years later during the Olympics and no one else has COVID.
No, dude,
Zero
no.
people. You're in a village with all fucking millions of people. There's millions of people in Paris right now, and no one else in the entire fucking city has COVID. But you got the short end, brother.
Dude, crying COVID in 2024 is sick.
Fuck off.
That is crazy.
In an athletic competition where no one else has cried COVID.
Which I mean, and like I've said, like we talked about, it's like athletes have been sick before and have had to play in their sport or in their game or whatever or
Sure.
perform. Like it's like I don't know why all of a sudden Noah Lyles is. You know what? I'm
But
done.
I hate that
he wasn't sick.
No, I don't think he was either. But I hate that like people like him like overlook the actual good athletes of the US, of the Olympics. Like his dog, like we're not talking about the dude who won the race. Because Noah Lyles took that from him essentially by saying I was sick, I would have won if I wasn't sick.
I don't know who won.
Some dude from Botswana. But he was like, yeah, I'm not the face of. He's like, I'm fast, but I'm not the face of running because I'm not an arrogant prick like Noah Lyles or whatever.
I don't know who. Yeah, go ahead.
But then you have the the U.S. just won the gold in the 400. No one said a word about him. Someone Holloway, and then you got that lady who just set a world record in the hurdles, the 400 hurdles. She's a fucking animal. But we're not talking. We're talking about the dude who's
not in the
causing
Olympics.
problems. Who backed out of the Olympics?
Who's officially not in the Olympics anymore?
How do you get to the Olympics and then back out of an event?
How are you
that rarely
supposed
happens.
to be on this level of
athleticism?
I don't know. I know I might be like seem like I'm glazing, but it's what he said. He said the average person is closer to LeBron, so that's what I'm gonna reference.
Sure.
To actually feel that way about yourself.
Yeah.
And to think and to pull out of the Olympic. I mean, honestly, this just really shows bro does not give a fuck.
Like, no, I don't think he. No, I think he cares. I think he cares what people think of him, and I think that's why he took this weird stumble tumble, and he's afraid of people not liking him. He's not afraid of people not liking him, but he's afraid of being out of the public eye. He posted something on Instagram after the race. He said, something happened. I wish the race went better. Congrats to my teammate and the dude from Botswana, all this shit. And he says, but you watched, didn't you? Didn't you watch? It's like, no, we didn't fucking watch. We heard about it on the news. No one's watching dick.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. I'm not sitting down and watching it.
I did.
We heard about it. We heard that you lost.
We talked about it.
Shut the fuck up.
We talked a lot of shit. I guess we'll see you in 4 years.
We won't.
Because this is it. Like this is it, Devan.
Yeah.
We milked this topic as much as we possibly could.
No, this is the last week. We don't need to talk about him. There's nothing There's nothing that he will do over the next 4 years that is talk worthy.
Nothing. So there you go. Let's talk about another Olympic
world
sport.
champions of what?